All right, so when Mary Meeker drops a new report, you know you got to pay attention. I mean, her internet trends reports basically defined the tech world for decades. But now she's put out a massive 340-page beast focused on just one thing: AI. So what's inside? Let's decode it.
So if there's one word you need to take away from this whole thing, it's this: unprecedented. Seriously, she uses that word over 50 times. What Meeker is saying is that what we're living through right now, it's a revolution on a scale we have literally never seen before. And it all kicked off with one single moment.
And that moment, yup, it was the public launch of ChatGPT back in November 2022. Meeker nails it by calling this AI's iPhone moment. You know, that's the point where some super complex tech suddenly becomes so easy and useful that everyone can get their hands on it. It just unleashed this absolute tidal wave.
And Meeker is super clear on this point. This isn't just another tech trend. No way. The adoption, the user growth, the sheer amount of money pouring in, it's all ramping up way, way faster than even the internet did back in the day. So don't think of it as just the next step. It's more like we've been strapped into a rocket and launched into a totally new orbit.
Okay, to put a number on that speed, Meeker points to this. By April of 2025, ChatGPT had, get ready for this, 800 million weekly active users. 800 million. I mean, that is just staggering. She calls it history's biggest overnight success, even though, it took them 9 years to get there. Still, the scale is just wild.
And this chart really puts that velocity into perspective. Just look at this. To get to 100 million users, it took Netflix over 10 years. TikTok did it in just under a year. ChatGPT, 2 months. Just 2 months. That is the unprecedented speed she keeps talking about. It's in a completely different league.
But, and this is a huge but, all of this incredible, explosive growth comes with a massive catch. There's this core tension at the heart of the entire AI boom. You could call it a gold rush for sure, but it's a gold rush with insanely high stakes and then even higher cash burn.
And here's that conflict, laid out plain and simple. On one hand, you've got the gold rush. All this usage is driving absolutely massive revenue. But on the other hand, you have a bottomless pit of spending. We're talking staggering costs, mostly for the sheer compute power it takes to train and run these things.
Let's look at some hard numbers to see what that really means. In 2024, a leader like OpenAI was on track to bring in a whopping $3.7 billion in revenue. Amazing, right? Well, here's the kicker. Their compute bill was an estimated $5 billion. They were literally losing money on a massive scale. You just can't keep that up without a nonstop fire hose of cash from investors.
And guess what? Those costs aren't going down. They're skyrocketing. The CEO of Anthropic is on record saying he thinks we could see someone spend $10 billion to train a single AI model, maybe even this year. So this isn't just a high-stakes poker game anymore. The price to even get a seat at the table is becoming astronomical.
So, you're probably asking, where's all this money coming from? Well, here's your answer. It's the big guys. The 6 biggest U.S. tech companies are the ones fueling this fire, dropping a combined $212 billion on this stuff in 2024. That's a 63% jump from the year before. They're all racing to build the infrastructure, both to protect their own turf and to grab a piece of this new world.
Okay, so all this money is creating another huge battle, and this one is less about cash and more about, well, the very soul of AI. It's a fight between two totally different philosophies: the polished, proprietary walled gardens versus the free-for-all open prairie of open source.
And if you look at who's winning right now, at least with everyday users, it's the walled gardens, hands down. You can see it right here. About 85% of desktop users are on closed proprietary models from companies like OpenAI or Google. Why? Because they're polished, they're easy, and they just work. But you absolutely cannot count out the challenger. Meeker has this great line where she calls the open source world the garage lab of the modern tech era. And it's perfect. It's this messy, creative, collaborative space where anyone can just download these powerful models for free, tinker with them, and build something new. It's a huge engine for disruption.
And here's the really crucial part. These open source models, they're getting good, like really good, really fast. Check this out. On a super difficult math test, one of the best open source models is neck and neck with a top-tier closed model. That performance gap is closing so quickly, and that makes open source a very, very real threat to the big players. Meeker sums this up perfectly. She says, this isn't just about business. It's a deep philosophical fight. We're watching two ideas play out in real time: freedom versus control, breakneck speed versus careful safety, total openness versus closed optimization. And how this all shakes out will decide not just how AI is built, but who gets to control it.
Now, let's zoom out, because this whole battle isn't just happening between companies, it's happening between countries. It's turning into a massive geopolitical showdown for tech dominance, especially between the US and China.
And the report doesn't pull any punches here. It quotes Meta's CTO, who just comes right out and says it. This is our generation's space race. The competition is absolutely fierce, the stakes couldn't be higher, and yeah, global leadership is very much on the line.
And this isn't just hype. Look at the scorecard. China is a powerhouse competitor. In 2023 alone, it installed more industrial robots than the US and the rest of the entire world combined. That's insane. And it's not just hardware. On the software side, by April 2025, one of their top AI models already grabbed 15% of the global user base. That's an incredibly fast rise.
And that really gets to the core of why this is such a big deal. The race for AI leadership isn't just about having the coolest tech. The thinking is, the country that leads in AI could lead the world. Period. That makes this the single most critical fight for global influence for the rest of this century.
Okay, so we've got this unprecedented growth, these massive economic battles, a new space race. But what does all of this mean for you, for us? Well, the report is very clear on this front. This revolution is headed straight for our jobs and the entire world of work.
This chart right here might be one of the most important and maybe jaw-dropping in the whole report. Just look at the US IT job market. Between 2018 and 2025, job postings for AI roles shot up by almost 450%. At the exact same time, postings for traditional, non-AI IT jobs actually fell by 9%. The shift isn't coming. It's already here, and it's happening fast.
And all this leads to a concept the report calls the agentic future. So what does that mean? Well, think of a future where a lot of white-collar work isn't done by people, but by autonomous AI agents. Our roles would completely change. We'd go from being the doers to being the managers. Our main job would be to oversee, to guide, and to train these AI systems.
And don't think this is some far-off sci-fi future. The timeline here is aggressive. By 2030, the projection is that AI won't just be a tool, it'll be at the very core of complex work. And just 5 years later, by 2035, the report suggests AI could be knocking on the door of AGI, or artificial general intelligence. We're talking about AI with human-level reasoning. That's just a decade away.
So the biggest takeaway from all 340 pages is this. This is irreversible. The genie is out of the bottle, and there is absolutely no putting it back. The tech, the money, the competition, the changes to our world, it's all accelerating and compounding faster than anything we've ever seen. And Meeker's report makes it crystal clear that this is only the beginning, which leaves all of us with the same big question.